Okay, so it was like when I told this other guy the other day in Vegas. I was just in Vegas for New Year's.
Yes.
Um, we were talking about retail jobs, and we were talking about retail jobs and retail bonds. A lot of the people who you work with in retail become like some of your closest, best of friends, if not your best friend. And I can attest to that. Like one of my good brothers is from DC, and we was working in retail for years. But what happened was when I moved to Los Angeles and I was doing retail, opening the store, closing the store, I went from like 6 stores. Not because I was fired from all of them, but because they were closing down. You know, the world of retail has changed so much. It's so unstable to me personally. It's very unstable. You don't know if your store is going to be here today, gone tomorrow, especially in 2022.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with that, I just began to observe my life. And it was all right the first few years, year or two, or was it a year and a half? But then something hit me, and I'll tell you all about it. I broke down at my job. And I actually did a video about this ages ago, probably like 10 years ago on YouTube. It's called Breakdown to Breakthrough.
Yeah.
And what happened was I was at my job. This is when I was working out in Glendale. I was now with Superdry. I don't want to promote them, but I was at another retail store, and I remember my staff and stuff clocking in, and they were like young people and things, you know, probably like, when I say young people, I would say like 24ish and this and that. Me and a coworker went for a break at the day bar across from the mall. And she was telling me about all the good things that were happening to her boyfriend, about how he came to LA to pursue his dreams, and they were happening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And as she was telling me her story, I started crying. And not just, you know, the sweet tears of a video. I'm talking about Tyler Perry stage play ugly crying.
Yeah.
I'm talking about tears in my eyes breaking down, me sobbing like an old tired hoe. I'm broken down at the bar, like literally in front of the associate. And I broke down because I realized that this is not the life I signed up for coming out here. This is not what I wanted. I wanted more.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to become more. I wanted to be more. This ain't it. I'm thankful and I'm grateful for the transition I am. But now it's time to get more. And from that point, everything in my mind started clicking about getting out of here. And this is the funny thing about the Most High, right?
Yes.
When you take too long, or when you don't do it at all, especially when you know your assignment,
Yeah.
there's no way that you can escape it.
Nope.
He'll push you towards it.
Yep.
If you don't do it, the universe will push you right there. And it happened. I was fired from my job on my off day, on my vacation. I was in DC and I was told over the phone, and I was like, what is going on? That's a whole nother story. We don't even have to get into that one.
Right.
But they let me go. But again, I was grateful for it.
Mm-hmm.
I was so grateful for it because that was the push that I needed. I kept going, calculating back and forth my strategy, how I was going to do this, how I was going to do that. Just do it. And then trust me, you'll swim.
Yeah.
You will swim.
Yeah.
We're always afraid of that jump, but you will swim. Just jump.
After making that, coming to that realization, and your soul saying, okay, you know, that conversation that we have with ourselves, after you had that conversation with yourself and you realized, okay, this job is done, what was your next move? What was the move? And I want to know, what was your next move? But what I mean is not what did you do after you were fired. I mean, when did you get that first break, that first release, that first slack in the rope that allowed you to be able to say, okay, I can do what I want to do. It's coming to me. I have it. Well, do you remember what the first job was?
Well, first and foremost, it's about the acceptance.
Yeah.
I accepted that I was fired, and I accepted that this is now my assignment for me to now figure it out independently on my own.
Yeah.
Acceptance. So from then and there, I decided, this is when Uber and Lyft was like popping at the time. And it's like you left all of this in DC. Everybody knew your name. Everybody knew this about you and that about you. And you had this huge audience, this huge big crowd. And I could go anywhere in DC and be recognized, especially from fashion and then also via through YouTube. So I could easily be recognized anywhere. And I left all that behind and I pressed the reset button. So here I am doing Uber and Lyft proudly with no problem.
Right.
Again, these are the challenges. I'm doing it now.
Right. And you know what?
But,
go ahead. But I was going to ask if there was more. Go ahead.
From that Lyft and Uber, I started doing promotional gigs and promo gigs, and you might have done some also. Promo gigs consist of like modeling for different campaigns or promoting different products. Sometimes you can be stationed at different stores, like a Sam's Club, a Costco, a Target, an event. Whatever. And then from there, you know, you're on set and you're just promoting these products. So I did a lot of promo modeling gigs and promo gigs to pretty much just keep it in. And I was able to create my own things on the side and still work promo gigs. So now I had more time to myself. Yes. I had more time to focus on my business.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like I said, you saw it. I interviewed Diane Pernay, fashion icon, especially in Paris.
Yeah, from Paris.
Yeah, she actually said to me, she said, the price of freedom is very high. You almost can't afford it.
Say that one more time. I want to hear that again.
Yeah, the price of freedom is very high. You almost can't afford it. Yeah. And I say that here because what was happening, physical stuff, but what really needed to happen and what I hear that happened is you made a mental decision. That thing, you know how they say, you know, you can change your life like that, but it starts with a decision. And what I'm hearing is you made that decision. And what they don't understand about Libras is we're very balanced, but very magical. When we make a decision,
my life is magic.
Right.
My life is magic. It really is.
Right. So fast forward to that, from that time, and you did what you had to do. You stayed. You didn't leave. You stayed. That now the question, what was the day, the event that caused you to realize I can express myself and get paid for it because it deserves to be paid for? That it took the place of all of the other things that you were doing and became your passion and your full-time career. What was that day?
That was the day I created Utopia, because a small child can never dream too big. It was a nonprofit that I came up with. Mm-hmm. And what I did was, at this point, I just wanted to do something. I wanted to create something. I wanted to tell my story, and not through retail and not through promo gigs. So what I did was I researched on my computer about like different nonprofits that I could offer my fashion design program to, and I came across Create Now. I went into the Create Now office, I interviewed with them, I showed them who I was, and I told them about my ideas and what I wanted to do and what I wanted to bring to the Los Angeles area, especially with fashion and also community combined. And with that, they accepted it. They loved the idea. So we started off in North Hollywood, which is in the Valley. And in North Hollywood, I cannot remember the name of the shelter. I really can't, because it's no longer there. Yeah. But it was a North Hollywood shelter that had youth there. And I was able to bring my program to that shelter. And what I did was I pulled different fashion stylists and fashion bloggers and curators. I brought them into my program to assist with the youth, to be more hands-off. I swear, this fashion community, we need more realism, honey. So I brought them all in, and they were able to work with their own child and to build a garment with that young person. And we're not talking about like scribbling and writing on t-shirts. No, darling. We're talking about creating gowns and creating looks and giving you the look.
Yes.
Like, we were talking about some high fashion at the shelter. Yes, we was. And those young people have never experienced that before. That was their outlet. That was their escape. I was able to sit with their families. I was able to go into the shelter in their small rooms. The room was about the size of a New York bathroom. It just was the bed, and that was it. So to be able to bring this program to these youth, a community that doesn't have a home, that are children abandoned off of the street that are here, we were able to present that program and present it successfully with a fashion show. At the end of it, it was amazing. And that right there let me know that this is what I came for,
Yes.
you know? And I'm
Yes.
grateful for that. Ever since then, we've been hitting different schools and orphanages and shelters. So presently this year, 2022, I will be stationed out of Hillside in Pasadena, California, and we have a fashion program that's going to be starting there. It starts January the 18th, but whatever Omarion decides to do is what we going to decide to do, because at this point,
Called it a
I don't know.
Marion, like everybody.
He's been dancing up
It's
and down the
Omicron.
daggone United States and in the universe for the past few months now. My Christmas wasn't even the Christmas I thought it would be because of Omarion.
It's Omicron. Y'all killing Omarion.
He's been dancing up and down the
It's
street.
Omicron, and everybody, y'all wrong.
Okay.
Y'all wrong.